somebody thinking, oh, I'm going to die young because I ride bikes. You've got it the wrong way around. Maybe lose a little bit of weight, go to the gym, start exercising, start eating a little bit better, start looking after your actual body, and then start telling me about how much your family means to you. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the awesome Kawasaki ZZR1400. So today, everybody, we're going to be discussing some of the most ridiculous reasons why some people like to use so they don't have to ride motorcycles. It's a little bit crazy, the conversations I have with people sometimes. But yeah, this one just absolutely blew my mind because it totally misrepresented the hobby, and it came from a person who seemed to have at least some interest in motorcycles, whether they once had or they still do. I'm not sure, but this is the kind of stuff that I am trying to fight against, because it's like, and I'll tell you the reason why he said the thing he did. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, because I like to throw in motorcycles in conversations, just because with new people that I've not met before, it's just like a bit of an icebreaker, and you'll get mixed reactions. But this guy reacted in a fairly positive way. He was like, oh yeah, what bikes do you have, or what bike do you have, what bike do you ride, and things like that. And so I started mentioning what motorcycles I ride and all that stuff, and of course you asked the question, oh, do you ride? And the response that I got was, oh no, I gave that up years and years and years ago. And I said, oh, why did you give that up? And he goes, oh, because I said to myself that I wouldn't have some fun on the bike. Like, I wouldn't pull the throttle back, I said to myself I wouldn't do this, and that's what I ended up doing. And he said, I got kids. like as if it's some kind of like you're signing up for the military. Yeah, I had a chuckle to myself, but at the same time I thought, my goodness, really? So you're telling me that you pulled the throttle back on a motorcycle once, and it basically scared you so much that you thought, oh, nah, I got kids, this isn't worth it. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, part of the fun of a motorcycle is the power, alright? There's no getting around it. If you don't like power, then you're not going to enjoy riding bikes. Simple as that, alright? But if you do like power, and you like to have cheap power as well, power on the cheap, a motorcycle is the best way to get the kind of power that people could only really dream of. But yeah, when he said, I got kids, it's like a line from, I don't know, Troy or Saving Private Ryan or something. Oh, it was absolutely ridiculous, and I thought, what a thing to say in a conversation to someone who you absolutely know rides bikes and is somewhat of an enthusiast, because he's listed all the motorcycles that he has. Like, and you say something like that, it is so stupid. And like, but that's the problem, you guys. That's how people feel about bikes, all because they're afraid of using the power. But at the same time, you can get a motorcycle like this, for example, and not use all the power, right? You can do it every once in a while, of course, like that's what I do, but you don't have to use it 24/7 all of the time. So the fact that people get intimidated, well, not intimidated, but they get worried about the amount of power that they're gonna have access to on a bike, like, that really is a non-issue, because you are in control of the bike. Yeah, and once you've got that urge to, I was going to say urge to splurge, but I think you guys know what I mean, urge to open the taps a little bit, then, like, after that, you'll be okay. It really isn't that difficult, you guys. But I've even seen fellow motorcyclists having very similar kind of arguments as to why they don't buy motorcycles like this, because they don't trust themselves. And it's like, really? That's your excuse? That's your reason for not getting a motorcycle like this? Oh, it's too much power? Like, for God's sake, how big are your cojones? Like, it's look, there's a lot of power on tap. on a motorcycle like this. But like I said, you don't have to use it all. It's all about this hand. If you can control your right hand, you'll control the bike without any problems whatsoever. I don't get it. Like, here you guys on our channel, we like big bikes. We like the 1 liters. We like the 14s, the 13s. We like these kinds of motorcycles. We love these kinds of motorcycles. We thrive on these kinds of motorcycles. I'm always saying how amazing these bikes are. And funnily enough, how much sense they make for street riding. Not just because of their comfort or all that, but also because where you have the power on tap, you don't have to rev the tits off of it to get a load of power out of this thing. You can quite comfortably use less than 25% of the throttle and have 95% of your power needs. So it makes a lot of sense because you're not having to go ridiculous speeds to access a ton of power. So you can still have innocent fun. Yeah, there are rules on how fast you can go. There aren't any rules on how much torque you can use getting there. You know, that's kind of like... I suppose that's kind of my logic, but I mean, it's up to you how much torque you want to use. But honestly, I would be surprised if I used any more than 25 to 50% throttle on most days, most times I take the bike out, because I have no need to. Like just there, right? That was less than 25% throttle, right? That wasn't even 100% throttle right there. And look, you can just come back down. Once you've had your fun, you just come back down again. It's easy. It really isn't as intimidating as some people might say. I can't remember what bike this person I was speaking to had. I can't remember. This was a few weeks ago, but the other comments that he was making just totally stole the show, so to speak. But yeah, it was like, you guys definitely let me know in the comment section what ridiculous things you've heard about why certain people refuse to buy a motorcycle or refuse to get into the hobby, or maybe they like with my instance, they had been into the hobby and then they chose to give it up because they couldn't trust themselves with the power of the bike that they were riding. But I don't remember this bike being anything special, like not like this, not huge, not big, or H2 levels or whatever. It might have been a cruiser that he was talking about. I can't actually. I think I remember him saying Harley Davidson, but Harley Davidsons are not fast bikes. They're producing a lot of torque, but they're not fast bikes. So again, they're bikes that you can have quite a lot of innocent fun with because they're producing torque. Torque is what you want for street riding, as I say quite a lot here on this channel, because I mean, it just makes the most sense. Horsepower is what you need for top speed, for going really fast, but torque is what you want for that thrust, that pull, that throw back into your seat effect. But yeah, you guys, I don't understand, because a motorcycle like this is so incredibly fun, and I have no doubt that people enjoy themselves, but at the same time, they're almost like they become too aware of their own mortality, but it's all in their own hands. It's all in your control. Like, there are things that are more dangerous to your health than riding bikes. Things like smoking, things like being overweight, diabetes, things like that are far more dangerous to your overall health than riding a motorcycle. If anything, a motorcycle would turn back the clock, reverse the years. That's what these motorcycles do. That's the effect that they have on me. And I could never give this up. Even when me and my wife, we decided to start a family and all that stuff, it's not something that I'm going to give up, because this helps me. This helps me stay grounded. This helps me maintain a level head, if you like. I don't get stressed out so much. But yeah, the conversations I have with people around bikes are sometimes utterly ridiculous. And it's like, okay, fine, like that's your reason, that you know, that's the reason that you have. But because it was someone that I didn't really know all that well, I couldn't exactly lay it on that thick, you know. I couldn't say how ridiculous it was what they were saying, but that's kind of what I wanted to say. Like, really? So you telling me that in future any conversation you have to anybody about motorcycles is going to be about how, oh, you have kids and you don't want to die? It's really funny, you guys, because recently we did a video about like the responsibility of motorcycle content creators and the ethical problem that comes with it. Like, we're encouraging people to get on bikes, but you can quite easily see some people or certain people thinking, well, you are encouraging death by motorcycle, you are encouraging an early death. And like, how much of a ridiculous argument that is, you know? Like, we are just trying to encourage people to get on the bikes. We're trying to spread the joys of the hobby. What people do with their motorcycles once they get on them, that's up to them. But it is our responsibility to make sure that we teach them good habits and that we encourage them to wear all their gear and stuff like that, which is what we do on this channel. But it's a similar kind of mentality, you guys, to that. In fact, no, I say similar. It's the same mentality. Somebody thinking, oh, I'm going to die young because I ride bikes. It's like, no, mate. You've got it the wrong way around. Maybe lose a little bit of weight, go to the gym, start exercising, start eating a little bit better, start looking after your actual body, and then start telling me about how much your family means to you. Because riding a motorcycle, quite frankly, it can't kill you like diabetes or smoking can. It can't give you cancer. This is a safe drug to enjoy. Riding motorcycles, a lot safer than I think people give it credit for. I do understand when people say that I don't know if I can trust myself, I would end up being stupid on it. But I think these people sell themselves way too short, and I don't know, it hurts the hobby again, you guys. It hurts the hobby because these people, they think they can't trust themselves, when it's like, maybe you haven't done it enough yet. Doing things like overtakes, I really don't think that that's a reason to not trust yourself. That's one of the benefits to riding motorcycles, is the fact that you can get past traffic quickly. It's really funny because every reason for why people, whatever reason people have for why they chose to give up riding motorcycles or what have you, I could quite easily come up with a counter argument for the exact same thing, about the power, about everything to do with motorcycles. I could quite easily come up with a number of reasons why something like the power of a motorcycle would be a good thing, the size of a motorcycle would be a good thing, your so-called vulnerability on the bike because you have no shell around you to protect you, things like that. You have a lot more space on the road, you have a lot more room, you have a lot more options than most traffic. So, like, depending on how you use your motorcycles, depending on how you ride your motorcycles, you're actually going to be even safer on a bike than you would be in a car, because in a bike, at least you can avoid certain collisions, where in a car, because there isn't that much space on UK roads, if a collision is going to happen, you're not going to be able to escape it. Whereas at least on a motorcycle, you might have a chance of escaping a collision in certain scenarios. But, you know, this is my job, you guys. This is my job, to spread the good word. I'm making it sound like a religion. Yes, please, come and join my motorcycle cult. There's no joining fee required. All you got to do is have a motorcycle and enjoy it, and not say silly things about the hobby. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's funny, isn't it, you guys? Yeah, I don't know really what else to say on the matter, so we'll end the video fairly soonish. But please don't spread bullshit. And if there are people that you are in conversations with sound in a similar vein to what I've been describing today, please don't be afraid to call them out. But you can call them out in a nice way. It doesn't have to be nasty. You can say, "Are you sure about that? Really?" You know, be a bit sarcastic maybe. For me, with the conversation I had with this person, I said to him, "Nah, man, you got to pick it back up again. You've got to do it for your own health, for your own satisfaction, to get away from the kids, to have something that, yeah, that takes you away from the stresses of life. This is one of those machines. This is one of those devices that can help you do that, and nothing else, not even a fancy car, can do this as good as a motorcycle can." And there is the truth, everybody. Thank you ever so much for joining us on our ride out today. It was meant to be dry and maybe a little bit overcast, but this is a little bit ridiculous. We're approaching spring now. I think this is what, the 18th of March, so we're not quite there yet, but it's gotten very cold and very damp, very dark again all of a sudden. And then spring tends to be my favorite time of year for riding, so here's to hoping that the weather will get a little bit better. But yeah, you guys, let's see if we can change people's perception of the hobby of riding motorcycles. But yeah, thank you ever so much again for joining me on today's ride. Hope you've enjoyed it, hope you learned something today, hope you had a little bit of a chuckle as well today. Don't forget to go ahead, leave that like and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell down there. And yeah, let us know what you think down in the comment section below. As always, I'd really appreciate it. I love hearing from you guys. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. Take care, ride safe. We'll catch you all in the next video. Have a good one.